Well, I should be back to 4:3 aspect ratio for this video. The 16:9 was limiting me on my editor choices, and it's also a lower quality than I'd like. And I finally read the manual well enough to figure out how to get this to 4:3. Anyway, moving along. I've been having a lengthy exchange of comments with someone on my video debunking determinism again. His name is, his handle I should say, is Trick0171. He says he's writing a book about free will, I think. I'm not sure if he's going to cover determinism in it or not, but he seems to be a determinist. His last comment on here, I'm going to read it. It says, I had questioned the logic of writing an entire book on the basis of premises that were arguable. That is, not sitting on a solid foundation of provable fact in the scientific sense. And he's someone that seems to think that logic can always give you the correct answer, whereas I'm saying any untestable deduction is always suspect, and he's not happy with that, I don't think. Anyway, let me get to it. He says, the premise of an event either being caused or not caused, which is the premise in case you were not aware, is not arguable by any rational or logical person. There is no not caused and at the same time not caused event. That is a logical absurdity. I can say that anything is arguable, even inductive things such as the world is not flat. It wouldn't mean I am being rational or logical to make such arguments, but they are certainly arguable in your sense. I probably didn't read that well because my my vision is a bit limited in reading this little thingy here. Okay, well now I have to go back to something else I told him, which was that the Planck limits do imply other possibilities. But I don't want to try to extrapolate from that to any kind of conclusion. However, one can look at the work done in quantum mechanics. As much as I don't want to get into quantum mechanics, you know, you have to at some point because that is part of this argument. Basically does say that there are things that can be both causal and acausal simultaneously. And if you go out in the world and look at things and see how messy they are, you cannot help but try to draw parallels between what quantum mechanics is telling you and what you're seeing in the real world. I mean, it happens to me all the time. Now, most of the time I dismiss it. It's unwise to do that because there are other explanations and you can just get into a kind of a fantasy land about things if you go too far in that direction. Nevertheless, quantum events do definitely percolate up into the real world. So what I'm going to do after I finish this video is go to Borders and see what I can find on quantum mechanics, because I was looking through my library and I don't have anything really good. So I need to brush up and familiarize myself more with the terminology and such. And we'll see what I find to say about it. But I am confident that quantum mechanics does indeed say that an event can be both causal and acausal at the same time. We know for a fact there is at least one thing going on around us all the time that is at least seemingly acausal, and even if it isn't acausal, as I would speculate, is still acausal with respect to this universe. Whether we are talking multiple universes or multi-dimensioned universe or both or neither or whatever, that being the only point of contact between an unreachable place and where we are renders the radionuclide disintegration acausal in effect, if not in fact. For some reason, there are people who can't wrap their head around this or simply don't want to. So anyway, after I get some books and look into this more carefully, maybe I'll come back to this. Well, Gone to Borders, it turns out, was ill-considered. I think at some point I did hear something about a bankruptcy, but I didn't follow it well enough to know that they'd actually closed all their stores. However, in another example of the triumph of free will, I did find an alternative, and I picked up Quantum Enigma by Bruce Rosenblum and Fred Kuttner, second edition, Oxford University Press, and Quantum, Einstein, Bohr, and the Great Debate About the Nature of Reality by Manjit Kumar. W. Norton publisher. So I'll have to take some time and look into these and get back with an evaluation. But at this point, I'm thinking to say that everything has to be either causal or acausal is sort of like saying everything has to be black or white. That's how my mind is looking at the problem right now. But I'll have to do my research and come back with some details later. That's it.